This is one of those days where I don't like my hips. This is one of those days where I'm just like, fuck, I have a body? Do people have those? Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wrist. Why can't I just not have hip bones? Why can't I just like magic the hip bones away and just like, can I take all of the bones out of my body? Can I stop have a meat suit? Can I just exist but not physically? You know? Oh, what a to-do to die today at a minute or two till 2. A distinctly difficult thing to say and harder still to do. A dragon will come and beat on his drum, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-2 in a minute or two till 2 today at a minute or two till 2. You have a topic, you've been thinking about what you're going to say all day, for a week even. Just spit the words out and edit it later and it'll make so much sense. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp chop from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block, from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Hello everyone. I am the game catcher. That's how I do intros, because I can speak and I have words that come out of my mouth and make sense when I speak them. Man, I meant to do this vlog like so long ago. I meant to do this vlog like right after the first weekend in April, and I don't know what happened. I disassociated something fierce. Cause first week in April, as always, Medieval Faire, and it's wonderful and lovely, and there are people, and I'm interacting and engaging with the real world, and then my brain and body say, alright, that's enough of that. We're going to shut off the part of your brain that deals with existence and exist in a fugue state, because that's fun. I mean, honestly, I don't know why it's already like the 21st or something, because just yesterday was Fair, and the day before that was my father's surgery. He's better, by the way, now he's all good, it's fine. But then the day before that was New Year's. I don't understand how time works. What day is it? And in what month? This clock never seemed so alive. It's me right now. Big mood, as the kids would say. Am I hip now? Is this what being cool is like? We didn't get rained out this year. That's the number one good... Where's my finger? Number one good thing. I need to remember, this is the space where I can do things and they show up on camera. So no, we didn't get rained out, but what we did get is frozen out. Because for some reason, the weather has decided that winter never ends. We need Elsa to go back to sleep now. It's time for spring. Like, I don't know. The weather here has been very strange because you've got like, cause it's been on and off. We'll get like a whole bunch of like nice warm days. It's in the 60s or even in the 70s. A couple days ago it was 80 degrees, and then immediately the day after it's like 20 or 30, and we're just like, what's wrong with you, winter? Why can't you go home and hibernate with the bears? Let the bears free. Put yourself in the cave. Medieval Faire weekend was one of those periods of time where it's deciding to be like the Yeti's foot. Only half of us were prepared with like actual cloaks and blankets and like making a cloak in the style of like the Game of Thrones Stark's cloaks has always been an idea that I've had, and just I've never put it into actualization because I'm lazy, but I really should actually think about maybe actually doing that at some point, because if it weren't for my friend Jean de Clisson, anonymity is important in storytelling, and we all have cast names, so I'm just going to be referring to everyone in cast by cast names because there. It's nice and good. But, and her lovely gift of the borrowing of a $10 Walmart fleece blanket. I would have frozen my buns off. It was bad. It was terrible. I have, hold on, let me go get the shoes. I had these lovely things that even have some grass still in them from the days where it was warm enough to wear them, but I was wearing them the first day. And like, it started off fine, it started off great and okay, and it just got slowly colder and colder and colder as it went, and it got to being like a freezing mist. It was just so bad, that the freezing mist, because it got to that point during the Talons of Avalon performance, and we're all just sort of waiting off to the side for our opportunities to perform and everything, and we started a penguin huddle because we needed it to survive. Like, one of the youngest cast members, we were worried about him, and so to the Pip and Lup, lovely name inspirations there, and then Olivier de Glisson and I were just like, yes, we are going to envelop the small child in a ring of warmth and make sure that he doesn't freeze to death. and so the young Prince Thomas just sort of hunkered down in it, which was exactly what we wanted, but he's also just like, no, I need to escape. Just like, no, stay. And Marjorie Arkwright came up and she was like, oh, this looks lovely. Can I be a part of this warm huddle? And we're like, yes, join in. Because we'd used our cloaks to basically form a shield from the elements. And so we opened the cloaks and Marjorie comes to join and Prince Thomas pops out of the middle like a groundhog on Groundhog's Day. And she's just like, jumping Jehoshaphat. I was a child. Oh, it was great. And so more people knew about the huddle, more people joined in, and it's just like, yes, those without cloaks, get in the middle here, we're just going to be shielding. And then one of the prince's mothers came and like held an umbrella over us, and we were just like, yes, lovely. But it was that kind of cold, like that kind of cold, and I'm out there in these, and so like I can't walk properly. My feet are freezing. I look down as I'm crone hobbling towards the compound after Talons of Avalon. The skin on the exposed flesh is like an angry red, and I just happened to end up walking with Desi, one of the Motleys. There we go, Motleys. And she's like one of the team moms, if you will, and she's just like, that looks bad. Do you have socks? Do you have closed-toed shoes? And I'm like, I have boots, but I don't have socks. She's like, here, let me lend you some so that you don't die. And it was so nice of her. I still need to give her the socks back. I can do that at the get-together later. Okay, that'll work. Anyways. And like, the boots were better than those shoes for like while it was cold, but I encountered a small problem with the boots. See, I bought the boots last year, and because last year we got a little rained out, you know, and so they fit perfectly last year. I could dance in those boots, they were great. This year I have gained so much weight, especially in the legs. Like, I don't carry my weight up here very much, especially not like, I carry it in my hips and in my thighs, which is why you don't see me standing up vlogging very much. And I could manage to get my foot all the way in, but the boots suctioned cupped to my legs. Like, it and to get it, it couldn't get all the way up my calves, up like the meat of my lower leg, and so it's just very uncomfortable, very hard to walk in. My ankles at the end of the day were awful, and Dad was having to help me pulling off the boots while I just held on to the table and the couch. I nearly got pulled off the couch like 3 times because it's just like it's just a mess. It was so cold out that the second day of fair had to be postponed, the opening, until 2 p.m. when it got above freezing wind chill. It's that kind of cold. And like, I'm complaining a lot about the cold and like the circumstances that came out of that and everything, but it was nice too in a way, because while cold and trouble, there was also like people being really nice and lending everybody things, and there was lots of hugging for the people who didn't have cloaks and needed the warmth of those who did. And it was still busy, lots of people still came out and everything, and at one point I had been on shift for too long, like doing the heralding business and everything, and so Princess Isabella had to come up to me and was basically like, you need real food, not just beef jerky and trail mix, you need to actually have a meal, and so I am going to steal you away now, and you are going to go to the actor's tent, and you can't do anything about it, so yoink. Oh, one of my favorite things in the whole world came out of that weekend. Okay, so like I mentioned Marjorie Arkwright, right? Great, sensational, fantastic. So a little bit more about the character Marjorie Arkwright is that she was a merchant and is now officially a shepherd. And there is a story with that, and it is called The Sheepening of the Medieval Faire 2K18. And so the way it goes down is Marjorie Arkwright has this shtick because she's a street character, and so she goes around and interacts with the guests that are like playing and enjoying the fair and everything, and she's just like, hello, have you seen my sheep? I am missing my sheep and I can't find them. Here, I have this bag that I knitted. It's got sheep all around the outside, and like I'm looking for Bessie specifically, and she looks like that one, and not like that one, but sort of like that one. All the sheep on her bag look the same. And so it's just like a fun skit that she does, and that was in Dance Mistress Sylvia's head when she was at Walmart during the clearance sales of Easter. There were lots of sheep plushies for like dirt cheap. And so Dance Mistress Sylvia's, being a prank master in her own right, is just like, yes, I see what I could do with this. And she gets like 13, 15 sheep. Just a whole slew of sheep plushies. And so on that first day, when everyone was like freezing, biting cold, whenever she heard Marjorie mention sheep in any context, she would sneak into like the actor's tent and put one in her bag. And it was like a bit of amusement at first, like, what's the sheep? Where did it come from? That's weird. To suddenly, there's 2, 3, where are they coming from? 6 sheep by the end of the day. Total bemusement and befuddlement, trying to figure out who the hell is doing this. But she was getting a little bit too close to guessing who it was that was doing this, and so Dance Mistress Sylvia engaged the rest of us to start help in hiding the sheep and bringing the sheep to her attention. And so, like, I think the first one of day 2 started like we were putting on like sunscreen or something in the actor's tent, and Lady Maud, the resident mean girls of medieval England, walks into the room, and Marjorie looks up and gets pelted immediately in the face full of sheep, and just leaves. Who did that? I don't know. I didn't see them. It's fine. There's another sheep who's like 7 now! And a couple others were obviously hidden under cloaks, or one of them was put in the Queen's chair, and so basically we went out and Marjorie saw the Queen in the chair and she's like, oh, it's the King of England! And actual King of England, King Edward III, from over there in the distance is just like, no, that's the Queen's chair, that's the Queen's sheep. And so Marjorie's like, oh, picks it up, puts it in the King's chair, King of England! And so, like, immediately because of that, the royal sheep had to be knighted properly, because that's what we do. That's our thing at the medieval fairs. We do knightings and princessings for children, and other things like dogs and flower, a giant flower. Pip has this giant rainbow carnation, and it has a name, and I can't remember it. But the flower got knighted. Some people were turniped, others were made Darth Vader, Lord of all the universe, and other things. Like there was a Queen of Tomatoes, which was a particular highlight, but no, we knighted the sheep, and so the sheep now has like a flower around its middle, and so that's specifically the royal sheep. And then a couple other times, sheep were placed on the crown of the king on the crown of the queen. It's like, what? I don't see anything. This is fine. This is fine. And so by the end of the day, through various machinations, Marjorie Arkwright had 13 or some odd sheep. We ran out of sheep. And yet we still had to have like one special sheep at the end, and it was going to be Bessie. And so, but since there weren't any more sheep to like hide on the 3rd day, basically what the cast resorted to doing, Mistress Sylvia, bless her, had a iron crook, like a shepherd's crook, and it has a hooky bit on the end of it, and it was garlanded in flowers, and it was beautiful, and so it was just perfect. And Marjorie ran out of bags to hold all the sheep. She ran out of baskets. She was stuffing them in the cloak that she had like tied, or like a sash over here and then around the waist, and to put them in there, and then in the basket in another bag, and so many sheep. And so she could put a basket of the sheep on the crook, and it was great. And so what the cast started doing after that, and after many pictures were taken, is that at random intervals, when she wasn't paying attention, we would steal and hide the sheep. It was great fun, because she would be talking to someone, and literally we would just come up. She would be talking to someone about, don't steal my sheep, I have to take care of my sheep. Just bag, take it out of the basket, hide it in the trees, put it on someone's head, stuff it in a robe, put it in our own bag and walk around with it. It has led to many a merry chase. It was great. I never knew that Lord Andrew Ashmole was so nimble, or Sir Andrew Ashmole, sorry, I forget, he's Sir Andrew Ashmole. We got a new herald, and he's a lovely man, and he's so funny. His skit is that he never stops yelling, because he's a herald and that's what he does, he's very loud. He snuck one of Marjorie's sheep, and I think he put it in his hat or something, and when Marjorie found out, a merry chase was engaged, and he leapt over the hay bales that we have as seating arrangements, and it was impressive. It was very impressive. Lord Andrew Ashmole writes his own music and plays his own instruments, and I just want one of them to be in a fantasy series at some point. His songs deserve to be in like a fantasy novel or like a Game of Thrones series like thing or something like that, because it's good. It's very good. To the sea. It's an earworm. But anyways, Marjorie eventually got who it was. She got it in one guess. She was given 3 guesses to try and figure out who it was, and she got it on the first one, which was fantastic. So like, yeah, this year was a little bit like difficult for weather reasons more than anything else, because the weather hates us. But it's also been like a really good fun year. I liked it a lot. This was good stuff. So those were most of my good highlights that I can remember right now. Aside from like sniping with Lady Maud on shift, because sometimes as Harold you need people to help you manage the line and help you remember people's names, and just Lady Maud is a great person to train your clapback usage, because I'm not particularly good at giving hello bird, I know I'm recording, yeah, I know it rained, at snapping back at people, because like I am always afraid of being a mean person. I don't want to be that kind of person that does that stuff. So, but Lady Maud's character is just really good at being the mean girl and yet not being offensive at all, and because you know it's all in good fun and all in good play, you can do that, and it's great. But yeah, okay, highlights done. Over. This vlog has gone on entirely too long. This vlog is entirely too silly. You need to stop. Just Monty Python police it out. Oh, but okay, I'm gonna call that done for now. I will talk to y'all later, and bye bye for now. See you in the next one. Bye.